the evidence that has come out.
But what is the dialogue that is happening right now amongst you and your fellow students?
Well, it resonates on a personal level. A lot of the students that we work with the 100 Black Men are the same age as Trayvon Martin. I myself am not that much older than him. And so the dialogue does consist about dealing with the images of Black men and how that's being portrayed in this country. The idea of being able to go down the street and being confronted by someone who has views of African Americans and the implications of that.
And Albert, you have a teenage son, and you also mentor Black men. How do you explain this case to them, and what details about it stand out to you that you need to share with these young men?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for having us this morning to discuss the tragedy of Trayvon Martin. Yes, I do have a teenage son, and I let him know first that he's blessed to be African American, that it's important that he understand that there are people that may treat him differently because of some illness that they might have or some bigoted approach that they might take, and that he needs to know how to respond when that happens. And people like Courtney are members of our mentoring program, and we try to make sure that all of our young people, as we mentor them, are given the skill sets as well as the strategies to address situations like this.
I want to talk about something very specific with the two of you as Black men. It's the hoodie that keeps on coming up, right? Is it how the hoodie is worn? Is it how it's perceived by people? How do you address that particular issue? And Courtney, I'm going to start with you.
You know, I think that to take the conversation and make it about the hoodie is somewhat senseless. The hoodie is obviously something that is worn by many athletes, college students and high school students alike. And so it's really not about the hoodie. I think it speaks more to the idea of the psyche of how we view African American men and the value that we put on African American men's lives. And so that to me speaks louder than the hoodie itself.
But Albert, do you talk about attire and how people perceive attire, particularly in young African American men?
Of course we do discuss attire, but Courtney is absolutely right. We don't want to denigrate this situation by focusing only on the hoodie. We understand that it has become the icon that represents what took place and how people might perceive you based on what you're wearing. So yes, we discuss attire, but whether you're wearing a hoodie or a shirt and tie, you need to be aware of your surroundings. Make sure that you understand that people may perceive you differently than you perceive yourself, and you want to dress appropriately for the situation.
What does that mean? When you say appropriately, what does that mean?
Well, let's understand that I think when you and I, when we were growing up, we dressed probably in what was a faddish way at the time, and we have to understand that fads might be okay, but we have to also be aware as we move through the streets and through the halls of our schools and through our workplaces that there is a uniform sometimes that we need to wear, and there's an appropriate attire for the moment. But most importantly, we have to understand that people will perceive us differently based on what we're wearing. But let's not, again, focus on the victim and what the victim is wearing and how the victim was perceived by someone who was watching him walk through